Welcome back to Beast Wars Wednesday. I am your host,
Predacon Paul.
Decepticon Doug. Today we are going to review what episode is it called? A Better Mousetrap.
You have to say this. A better mouse.
A Better Mousetrap.
So this episode
Begins, strangely enough, in the Maximal base.
So Rhinox has just finished building this elaborate security system.
The hardware, at least, for it. He's still in the process of programming it. It's called Sentinel.
Sentinel is the security grid for the Maximal base. Optimus said, hey, can you make the base impregnable? In case, some Predacons get in here.
You said make the base impregnable. Under the base, while this is all going on, we've got Predacons attempting to impregnate the base. So...
Pterosaur, Black Arachnia, and Waspinator are under the base. They got a bomb.
It's not a bomb, you bug. It's a sonic emitter.
It's an invention.
It's an invention, a sonic emitter. It explodes, but it's not a bomb.
No.
It's not a bomb.
Because that's not how bombs work.
Bombs are boom explosions. This is a boom explosion. So basically they're going to blow a hole in the bottom of the Maximal base and then go in that way.
And like the explosion is enough that I would say would most likely, if the shields were down, annihilate the base.
Yeah,
so I think it's a one-hit kill. So while that's all going on, Waspinator gets...
He gets in a bit of a huff.
It's a bit of a huff.
He's just like, stop telling me what to do. He goes off to cry. He goes, Black Arachnia and Pterosaur are just like, well, I guess we should just continue digging in this hole.
While he's flying around like an idiot, talking to himself, Optimus sees him on the sensors and go, oh, there's Waspinator. That's the third Predacon we've seen in this sector. Let's go find out what's going on.
Let's check it out.
So he flies out to check it out. At the same time, Dinobot is telling his fellow Maximals that the base, defenses are dumb because they're stun rounds and they tie people up. Lethal Predacons, even though they've been proven to be anything but in the entire season thus far.
They're not so tough. Dinobot's thinking, these couldn't take me down, but they could probably take Waspinator down.
Yeah, Waspinator would be screwed. So Rattrap, I think he took it personally because Dinobot was being rude about Rhinox's work. Since Rattrap and Rhinox are best friends, I think he was defending Rhinox's honor knowing that Rhinox wasn't going to do it himself.
And also he likes to bust Dinobot's balls a little. He gets a little...
It's a little bag
Yeah,
tag.
yeah.
It's like, hey Dinobot, bam! The only problem is he usually responds with a spinning sword of death.
It turns out that Dinobot is actually strong enough to break through the tanglers. Dinobot still has this rage problem that we addressed earlier.
He focused his anger to break out of the bonds.
It reminds me of early Worf in
Yeah.
Star Trek, where he just gets in this warrior rage.
Captain.
And I just see so much of that in Dinobot, actually.
He's very Klingon in nature.
One Riker, one bridge. I can't reach it. Get it off! Sorry.
So Dinobot goes to impale Rattrap with his sword, and instead he impales the console. Now, the downside of this is that the software of Sentinel hadn't finished being set up, particularly the friend or foe program. So damage has been taken in the base. The base sees it as a threat, but it doesn't recognize the Maximals as friends yet.
Which is stupid because that should be the first thing you do. Plug in, okay, just don't shoot us.
Rhinox said that's what he was installing, but Rhinox should have been a little faster.
Because its targeting sensors were already working, they were already fully armed, safeties were off.
What were you thinking? He's like, I'll just save friend or foe for last.
Because it's the best for last because we're friends, not foes.
There you go. So basically the Maximals have to evacuate the base because Sentinel thinks that they're dangerous. Rattrap decides, well, it's kind of his fault that this whole thing happened. So he's going to go deeper into the base because the comlink's trashed. They can't program the friend or foe program from there. They have to do it from the computer core. Dramatic music. Everyone exits the base. Rattrap!
Rattrap, in an uncharacteristic, once again, which is now becoming characteristic, show of selflessness, decides to put himself in danger to try and fix the problem that he created.
Meanwhile, Waspinator's buzzing around. And Tigatron, there he is. I guess his sick day is over. He's watching Waspinator, and Optimus comes up behind him. They're like, well, what's he doing here? And Tigatron's like, I don't know.
You got me. I'm going to bring him down. And Optimus, in a good show of leadership, like immediately his thought process is, no. Let me see if I can shake him up and see where he goes first. Because obviously the Predacons are up to something. When it doesn't involve a stasis pod, Optimus can think on his feet really, really well.
So Optimus chases Waspinator. They go on a nice little run. Tigatron is following behind. They take a tight corner, and Waspinator disappears, and Optimus is like, where the heck?
What the hell? Then he hits a mountain and goes, "Ah!"
He gets a notification from Sentinel that someone's come to the base. So he's like, okay, Tigatron, see if you can find Waspinator. I better go check out what this base situation is. I'll send you back up. And Tigatron's like, hey,
I got this.
I'm a tiger. I hunt alone.
He's not just a tiger. He's a tiger Tron. That basically means like striped space ninja.
Optimus returns to the base to see, he's like, Rhinox, what's going on here, guys? And Rhinox is like, so Rattrap's in the base and he's gonna get shot.
The shield is up. They're working on the shield. They're blasting the hell out of it all day.
Yeah, it's been a long day of blasting. Shields are good. Shields are working just fine. Good job, Rhinox. Rattrap's in the base, and he's having a grand old time getting around the security system. But he's noticing more and more it's getting a little harder to get past.
Things are getting more and more lethal.
But he manages to make it into the computer core, and it's time for him to get the program and press the big red button. But before he does, underneath the base, a Tigatron finds Waspinator, Pterosaur, and Black Arachnia. He sneaks up on them and goes like, hey, don't blow up the base.
And then they, of course, transform
Yeah.
and start shooting at him. It's like, dude, why would you even bother with stealth mode if you're not going to blast the hell out of him? He could have taken out Pterosaur. He would have been my first pick. Because he sneaks around, hops behind this person, and then pulls his gun out and goes, okay, hey, stop it.
Don't do that.
Space Ninja. Oh yeah, he takes the tuning fork.
And he books it out of there. He's like, and then they chase him down. They're going like,
Tuning
don't take our
fork.
bomb.
It's my invention.
And then he's like, oh, okay, here, have it back. But it's not under the Maximal base anymore. So when it explodes, it's just to the left of the Maximal base. And then they're like, whoa, what happened? There's a huge explosion. And then Tigatron's like, hey, everybody, I'm okay. I guess the Predacons got out. Then Rattrap's like, I'm going to press the button. And then he gets trapped. And he's like, oh, no, am I going to press the button in time? Then the big boom goes, and then the shield goes down. And the Maximal's like, oh, that could only happen if Rattrap died.
Which is stupid. Leave the shield up. If there's a Predacon in your base and it gets subdued, there's probably Predacons outside.
Rhinox, come on.
Come on,
Come
man.
on, Rhinox.
Come on.
They start to grieve for their fallen comrade, Rattrap.
He was noble, selfless,
Resourceful.
colorful.
He found that Maximal chip.
He always volunteered at the orphanage. Oh my god, the orphans. Dinobot, showing respect the only way he knows how, is by going, no, screw that. He was smelly. I hate him. He was smelly. But I will miss him.
Yeah.
In a perverse way.
Because it's nice to bicker with somebody. And Cheeto doesn't bicker as well as Rattrap bickers. Yeah, so that's it. That's the end of the episode.
That's it.
Rattrap's dead, and then everyone's sad. JK, everybody.
Ho-ho!
Rattrap's just fine. And he's like, hey, guys, guess what I did? I fixed the problem. I pressed the big button.
Please tell me more about myself.
Then it's actually the ending. And everyone's like, woohoo, we got a security system. And the Predacons didn't explode our base. The end.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for watching Beast Wars Wednesday. Have yourself a great week.
Like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your mom.
Yeah. And
If you don't tell your mom, I will.
Don't forget to brush your teeth.
And eat your green vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so for the next episode, I think what we should really focus on.
Ah, JK, look at that. We got you.
We got you.
For the old fake ending.
What worked for you?
You know, finally we got to see Tigatron again and Black Arachnia again, and even though their story was completely separate from the actual main story, I think the writers were sort of like, we should probably develop these characters a bit.
We should do something for these characters.
They got them their own like little subplot. You can see Tigatron be stealthy, and he's like, I work better alone.
Which I think was the best choice, because Space Ninja.
Space Ninja. And Black Arachnia, now we get a sense that she's intelligent, she's an inventor, and she looks down upon Waspinator and Pterosaur. You can tell right away. She's got the status thing. She's like, okay, look, I'm the smart one. You guys are idiots, and it's time we acknowledge this. And you guys need to follow my cues. Fair enough.
It's a lot more pushy than I would say even Tarantulas is. Tarantulas is just like, he kind of sits back. He follows orders enough to ensure his survival.
Yeah, she's a different kind of spider than Tarantulas. They're both like independent, intelligent, crafty little critters, but they are different characters. And that's good. That's a good thing to establish. I also like that this episode is a lot of fun. It's got its heavier moments, but generally like it's willing to have a good time and be a cartoon a little bit. As much as we sort of talk about the gravitas of the show and like how mature it is for like the kind of cartoon that it is, it had its goofier moments, not all of which worked, but in this case I do feel like it did work in the episode. Like him surfing down the
stasis pool or something.
Yeah, he surfed down it and it's like there's a surfing music going on, and it's just a moment where like I laughed out loud as a kid.
It really honestly felt like a video game. We've all played that game where you're surfing and then you got to jump over obstacles and.
Oh yeah, it's just any game that was like clever platformer where you have to like problem solve and stuff like that. Totally.
It really showed just how clever Rattrap really is. Even to the point where he's all like, "Come on, really, Rhinox, really."
Although his cockiness is cut down a few times because there's a few times where he's taken by surprise and he's like, "Whoa, okay, I am a little bit over my head." Also, a lot of good comedy from Waspinator, just like him buzzing around, muttering to himself.
Waspinator's sick of taking orders.
It's just a really great chance to have fun with that character because like just him in his own mind it's this hilarious mess of a character. Like he's so insecure and he has to talk himself down from this little tantrum.
Yeah,
it's great.
And he even goes on that same tangent when he goes back. You can hear him saying, "Waspinator, greatest of all Predacons."
Like he's trying to make his case to them. He's like, but guys, you should listen to what I'm saying. I'm the greatest of the Predacons.
Yeah, he's like, I just convinced myself.
So this is a good episode for a few good laughs, for sure.
There was two very streamlined things going on, right? There was the base and what was going on inside with Rattrap, and then the weight behind that, because if he failed, he would possibly lose his life, and they would lose the base forever. You've also got what's going on under the base, where if they succeed, well, they definitely lose the base. So either way, there's two separate ways of them losing the base entirely. And really, the two stars of the show are Rattrap and Tigertron, because Rattrap does his thing and saves the base his way, and Tigertron does his thing and makes sure there's still a base left to save. You got two separate plot lines, all in the same vein. Felt like a really full, really layered story.
The two storylines do not meet up in any way, really. They're two completely separate stories, and I kind of get why the B story was happening while the A story was happening. Like I get what that did accomplish, but it would have been nice if there was some way to tie them together.
Like, let's say Tigertron failed and then the sonic emitter was about to go off and then some like stasis field goes and like disables it.
Or if the sonic emitter was even slightly less powerful than like what wound up happening, the explosion that did happen, and then the Predacons actually got into the base and Sentinel was online. You know, like something like that would have
been hilarious.
That would have been kind of funny.
Like, but we did it, and then
just a little way to kind of make the stories merge together. They're just completely separate. But you know that happens sometimes. That's not a problem that's specific to this episode or this show even. But you know, I would have liked to see them intersect a little bit. But you know, it's fine the way it is. I just think that it might have made it a little stronger.
Yeah, I think so too. Would you say it's required watching?
It does introduce Sentinel, and it does help establish Black Arachne and Tigertron a little bit better. Mm-hmm. I think that it's not like the most essential, but you should see it.
Let's say you missed the episode. If you watched another episode where Sentinel is online, and you never really knew how it got set up or the build up to Sentinel itself, or what Sentinel really is, I think it's just implied that there's base defenses within the base itself, or it's implied that there's an impregnable shield around the base because it's already been stated that the base has shields and we've already seen the shields in action. You wouldn't really miss anything if you didn't catch the episode. If we take away the fact that it sets all that up and it's just filler, it's still a really good episode. Entertaining and fun. And you can really, really tell that that the writing team and the animators and them they went the extra mile to make it funny. Like the directorial choices with Waspinator and like the whole false ending and all that.
So we're gonna give it 3.5 out of 5 sonic emitters. It's not a bomb.
It's not a bomb.
Okay. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you like it enough that you want to subscribe, just hit the little button down there, or wait until the end card and press the subscribe button.
Or you could share.
Feel free to watch any of our other videos so far. We got every episode of Beast Wars before this one all ready to go and reviewed. So check them out. Stay tuned in 2 weeks for the next episode.
Beast Wars Wednesdays every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Bam!
Wow, 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 wow. Thanks so much for watching. Yes, thanks for watching. I mean, obviously.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you
obviously.
for washing as well. Like washing, if you wash
I mean,
yourself.
wash yourself before you
Yeah, you
watch
should.
this.
Like, just have a shower every morning. It's a good
Please.
practice.